Thanks for joining Let's Get to Talking, presented to you by Black Gay Table Talk. I'm Kenan.
I'm Dorian.
Join us as we take you on a journey of discussion from two Black gay male perspectives.
Get ready for authentic, heartfelt, raunchy, thought-provoking, and relatable shows.
We're happy to be a part of your podcast family.
Let's get to talking.
Hello, and thank you for joining another episode of Let's Get to Talking, presented to you by Black Gay Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kenan, and
I'm Dorian.
Dorian. So today we have the exciting experience of having Chris and Jim with us, co-founders of Obsidian Wine Retreats. Chris and Jim, how are you today?
We're doing pretty well. We're doing good. All the way from Margate, South Africa.
Nice summer afternoon.
Nice summer afternoon. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
And we're having
jealous.
a little drink too. We've got our wine to show you that it actually really is 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Cheers to you guys. It's a treat to be with you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, good old Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. You got up early, Dorian.
So
I did, but Kenan got up earlier than I did.
tell us about you guys. What's your background?
We came from California. That was our last place of residence, and we have now relocated to wonderful Africa, the continent of Africa, basically the south of Africa.
Southern Africa, yeah.
And so we've been here for 8 months now, and we had a mission and a goal to be the bridge, the go-to gay couple to bring in other gay couples of the African diaspora, Black men of color, because we have all kinds of color in our community, and their partners, friends, and family, to be able to come to Africa and feel comfortable coming here, being a part and seeing African continent, African people in a more entertaining way, as opposed to just coming for the Africa return, and seeing slave ships and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted to give another alternative and opportunity for Black gay men of color to be able to come. A lot of the African countries are very homophobic, but not here in South Africa. South Africa, in its own constitution, allows for
10 years before the Americans started, gay marriage. It's illegal to discriminate against gays or anything like that here.
In South Africa.
Yeah,
yes.
and Botswana too, but we focus on South Africa.
So we've also, South Africa also has gay marriage, and they have gay adoption, just the whole thing. So it's easy for us to be here.
Mm.
Got it. All right. So how did you meet in California?
We actually met in
Hawaii.
Honolulu, Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in Hawaii.
Were you there on vacation?
Jim can tell you how he got to Hawaii.
My friends in Europe, I was living in Europe, and my friends were boasting, oh, we got to go to Hawaii, everything Hawaii. So I thought, okay, I'll play on the beach in Hawaii. I'll go to Hawaii, I'll go to America for a month. And I thought, okay, I'll just play and enjoy. And my 1 month turned into years because I met Chris. Yay!
I love it. So
Did you say how long ago this was? How long ago was this? How long have you guys been together?
17. We're doing our 18th.
17 years was just last time.
Wow.
October
Got it.
2020.
So was it love at first sight or
Yes.
Yes,
love
it
at
was.
first rumble?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
As soon as the day we met each other,
Yeah.
we never stopped seeing each other after that day.
True.
For the next 17 years.
True.
That's amazing.
That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so
It's
much.
definitely a journey, but it's worth it if you're having fun along the way, you know? So,
Having fun along the way.
w- with your love of wine and your love of travel, how did you have the idea to kind of birth the Obsidian Wine Retreat?
Well, I
What led
could
you
say
to it?
that, well, the love of travel, Jim, you can tell him about your love of travel. How many
I
countries and stuff like that.
was in 67 countries worldwide, some multiple visits, and I lived in seven. And Chris has been like 47, almost 50 also worldwide, some multiple
Wow.
visits.
You speak how many languages?
I speak Thai, fully functional. I speak Arabic. I'm losing it. uh, my mother was Polish, so I speak some. Rozumiem trochę po polsku. And I try to speak English
A
Oh
little
my
bit.
a little
gosh.
bit, some form of English.
And
Oh
I
my
can get by.
gosh. Say it again, Chris. You can
I
get
can
by
get
with.
by with Spanish. A little bit of
Got it.
Spanish. We're at like countries like Mexico or Ecuador, places like that. I can where they speak Spanish, and actually even in no, not Portugal.
Hmm.
No, no, you can't. There's no cross between that. So that's how we started. That was the traveling, and
Mhm,
then once we were in California for some time, we were working in the wellness retreat space, and we did that for
mhm.
9 years. And what
Okay.
we decided that when we resigned from that position, we said, well, what do we want to do next? Like our particular choice. And we had already been involving ourselves in drinking wine and pairing with food, and we had been to South Africa a few times already. We love the
Mhm.
wine in South Africa. We found some wine in California from South Africa that we truly fell in love with. Then, so when we decided, well, what do we want to do? Do we want to keep traveling? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to travel? Africa. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we want to introduce people to? Wine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we came up with the concept of wine vacations or wine retreats, because that's the space we had been in earlier. We hosted 25 people to 50 people for weeks at a time at our wellness center. So we
Mm-hmm.
said, you know what, we're pretty good at hospitality. We've been doing it for 9 years. So let's combine our love of travel, combine our new love for, well, not new love, but our understanding of Africa, being there present and not just seeing it from television standpoint, but actually being here and being with the
Right.
people. And then let's bridge that gap that gay men of color have in wanting to even travel to the African continent. And what better way to do it for our passion of wine, cuisine, food, and others who would like to also explore their wine through coming and travel. And that's how we got here.
I love that. I
Okay, I
love
love it.
that.
I have a question now. On your retreat compound, how many people does it hold, and do you actually grow the grapes there?
So there's a combination of questions there. We had a retreat space in California. We
Mm,
don't have a retreat space here in Africa. So
okay.
what we do is that we secure penthouse accommodations
Okay.
that have 5 to 7 bedrooms in them. And all of the guys, we go to this house. We have a private chef. We have met black winemakers. That's who we feature. So we feature black winemakers, we feature black wine brands, and we
Mhm.
feature black sommeliers. So we're in Africa, so it's all black.
Okay.
So
All black.
we
I
bring in
love it.
all black. And so in that environment, we're all around a big table. We're drinking wine. The winemaker's there. The winemaker's telling us about how the wine came about. The sommelier is there. A lot of people haven't had an opportunity to be served by a wine sommelier who is trained and studied wine. I know it's a wonderful experience. And these wine sommeliers are from all over the African continent.
Mhm.
They're from Zimbabwe, they're from Malawi, they're South
Mm.
African, they're different ethnic backgrounds. They're actually Zulu. You know, we've heard of the Zulu nation, and that's where we're at in
And
South
they're
Africa.
cute.
Is the Zulu nation,
The
and
Zuluation.
Zulu nation, and then there's another group that's called Xhosa, and
Cool.
they speak with a tongue click. Jim's gonna practice that. Show you.
Yeah,
Kosa.
And
Wow.
they do the
yeah.
greetings.
Sawabona
Kunjani,
is how you, yes.
and so
Molo.
Molo. So we're learning all of these different greetings and things like that in
Mhm.
African languages.
Mhm.
Most of the people here speak multiple languages.
Mhm.
The Africans speak 5 to 7 languages each.
Mhm.
I've
That's
heard
nice.
that. Yes.
Wonderful.
And some of the people that you've mentioned, I believe I've read somewhere that historically, right? So before European influence, they were accepting of gay relationships, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That
most certainly.
is amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, most certainly. The only difficulty now is because of the Western influence and the different religions that take place in that. Those are the hangups that most people have now. But
Hmm.
for the most part, like we've never had any problem being a couple here
Mm-mm.
ever,
No.
you know,
Mm-mm.
That's
ever.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's old British law, but it's breaking down in many places. Mhm. The colonial past here. It's breaking. Mauritius just broke it, one of them, this year, a few months ago.
Got
And
it.
yeah, it's breaking.
Hmm. Well, I, for one, I know I want to make the retreat. I probably can't make it. Well, I know I can't make it this year, but next year, that is on my list of things to do. Like, I have to do it. I want to see South Africa, and then being able to travel with and be included in a group where I know we're safe, and I know that we're accepted, and it's really catered to Black gay travelers, which is
What it
phenomenal.
is, it's for
So
us.
I literally have to. Well, right now I got kids and bills. Okay, so like, once I get them taken care of, it's all me. Like, and my husband. We're definitely coming.
I
One
So
plan
of
to
the,
come.
you are, Dorian?
Yes. I need to learn about wine. I'm not a
Yes.
true wine drinker, to be honest.
I'm
So
a
I
wine
want to
drinker.
learn more about it.
We'll get you started without a doubt.
Appreciate it.
So let me ask you, in crafting and nurturing the Obsidian Wine Retreats, um, what were some, I guess, celebratory moments or even some challenges that you had in getting the message out to the grander audience?
Well, the real, how do you say, the first steps have been really excellent. So we have what we call our official research and development. So
Mm-hmm.
we are researching and developing. We've been meeting winemakers, we've been going to wine farms, we're laying the groundwork and the foundation. And that has been a 6 month to 7 month journey, exciting, and
Mm.
we haven't had any hiccups.
Mm-mm.
So we've connected with the people that we mentioned before. We used our experience in running hospitality retreats in California
Mhm.
here. And so we had our own wine dinners where we invited the winemakers to our Airbnbs, and they came with us, sat around the table. We invited young and up and coming chefs to private chef the meal for us. And we'd have just an intimate group of like 7 of us there. And we
Mhm.
would break open the wine, the different wines. One of the things that we did the most is that the winemaker would be present with us. We would have their wine. Then we would bring in about 4 other black wine makers' wines to the table that they had never tasted before. And although they're colleagues with one another, they know each other, they don't often get the opportunity to drink each other's wines because they're working so hard for their own product to get it out there. So we were introducing wines that they had never drank before to them as well. So that was our wine. We call them the winemakers dinner, and we've been doing that. We had about 5 occasions of that.
They're our friends. The winemakers are our friends.
That's amazing.
That's
So,
great. So it's an opportunity to bring everybody together at one time.
Yes. Yes.
yes, and have them explore each other's, products. So, is it fair to ask you guys what your favorite wine is?
It is. It's fair. South African.
Mhm. I like red.
I like that answer.
That was a safe one.
Yes. South African wine. We like a real bold, heavy wine. We
Mhm.
enjoy red wines. You talk about challenges. One of the challenges was learning how to enjoy white wine because we weren't really white wine drinkers. So the challenges have been learning how to drink wine. That's the challenge.
And sparkly.
And sparkling wine, they call it MCC here, Method Cape Classic. And
Oh,
Cape is a word from Cape Town, the Cape Coast. So they call it Method Cape Classic. It's their champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's their version of champagne. Um, so that's been our challenge. That's been our greatest challenge. And also having to leave the country because we can only stay for so long for our visa. But
mhm.
that's not so much of a challenge either because like Jim went to India, for a few weeks, and I went back for my mom's birthday to Arizona, for a month, and
Going to Mozambique.
we went to Botswana.
Botswana.
So the challenges are nice.
Got it. So I
Wow.
saw in an interview that you did with our Black gay diaspora, and
Uh-huh.
so I guess is it fair to say that you are digital nomads?
Yes, that's for sure.
Yes, right?
Yes, we're digital
So
nomad.
in the traveling that you two do, I mean, obviously a large percentage of that travel you're together. How do you stay connected when you have to travel separately or when you end up traveling separately?
Similar to what we're doing now. So with you guys, so we just jump on one of the platforms and do video conference talks with each other.
Twice a day.
Yeah,
In India, we did that.
yeah. Like when I was in Arizona and Jim was in India, it worked out quite well because when it was my bedtime, it
Okay.
was his morning time, kind of like this. So yeah, it wasn't that difficult of a gap. So he would tuck me in at night, and then I would wish him a great day. And then, what did you do while I was sleeping, Jim?
That's the question. No.
Play everywhere. I stayed in the beach area. I was in a beach town, so I was just a beach bum. And curries and lads and fun.
And go,
Yeah.
How
yeah.
in learning about South African wines, what was some of the most, I guess, notable lessons that you learned or that you received?
Merlot here, Syrah here have different taste than America, than California. The Merlot here is because our friend was like taste like blindfold tasting.
Mhm.
He says, "What is this?" And I'd never say it was a Merlot, or Syrah or any of those others. The complete Cabernet Franc here, a Cabernet, different.
We also were able to learn more about the process of winemaking through the
Yes.
winemakers. as we sat with them, and it was more personalized, and they would tell us. So we had wine tastings in the barrel rooms. So you go to the area where all the wine barrels are at, and they take out a table for you, and you sit around the table, and they just bring out cases of wine and set it at the table for you, and they just like, try this one and try this one and try this one. It's like it's an artistry. So the winemakers are just so excited to share what they're producing, and they take us around the winery itself and the barrel room, and they'll explain to us, this barrel is from France, and half of this barrel was burnt with whiskey. It was whiskey, right?
God, I
Vodka,
don't
yeah,
remember.
a whiskey barrel, a
Hmm.
whiskey barrel, and they put wine into the whiskey barrel to give it a different flavor and
Ooh.
taste.
Mhm.
So things like that. So that has been a wonderful learning that it was hard for us to get when we were in California,
Mhm.
because the wine industry is so large and so exclusive. The connection of trying to learn about the
Hmm.
wine is a little bit difficult in larger wine producing areas or real notable
Hmm.
producing areas. And since South Africa is up and coming, they're so friendly. So everyone is just
Right.
come over. We've been to winemakers' homes, and
Mhm.
they've cooked a spread of dinner
Mhm.
for
Oh
us,
God.
and they brought out their wine and paired it with the food. It's just
Mm.
it's
That's
amazing.
amazing. I bet
It
it.
is.
Even we were saw on we were seen on the street. We were standing in front of the winery and the wine place, and they came out to us. Oh, we know you both. They brought us in, and we were like treated like kings. Opened up all the bottles,
Yeah, it's
whatever
really
they
it's
had.
really fun.
Really
The
fun.
hospitality is just over the
Crazy.
moon.
I love that. And actually, I was going to ask you, I'm glad you mentioned the wine, I guess, industry in California. So, is there a difference in like the growth process or how they, nurture the grapes or take care, or, is there a big difference between how it's done there, say, like in Napa versus where you are now?
Not an incredibly large
Okay.
difference, but we're gonna leave that up to you guys when you come and when you experience an Obsidian Wine Vacation Retreat. Then you'll be able to go home to wherever you are in the world and kind of compare. But you've
Mhm.
got to experience it firsthand.
Yeah,
This is
true.
true. This is true. That's the
Well, is
plan.
it true, as a wine expert yourselves, is it true that the soil has a lot to do with it too?
Precisely.
Yes, and that's very important because the wine
Hmm.
farmers here are black, or what they call on this side colored. So they are the ones who are picking the grapes. They're the ones tending the fields. Their feet is in the soil. Their languages are in the soil. They're in the hands of the picking of the grapes. So when you're drinking a South African wine, you are drinking from the care of our people. And that to me is outstanding and phenomenal.
It's Africa in a
It's
bottle.
Africa in a
Yes,
bottle.
it's Africa
Oh, I
in a
love that.
bottle.
That is
Mm.
great. I have to make a little joke. When you were explaining that momentarily, I just thought about I Love Lucy episode where Lucy was stepping on the grapes when she went to Italy. Her and Ethel in the big barrel just stepping on all the grapes to make the wine. That's
I
what I
remember
visioned
that.
as you were explaining that story.
And that's great too, because it more intensifies. That's what happens. The the soul of the people, literally the soul of their foot, the soul of the people is in the wine. You know.
Mm. We smashed grapes too. Remember that?
Yeah, we were in
Wow.
Portugal,
Yeah.
and we
Oh,
were.
this feels
That
good.
has to
Ah,
be an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. It is. It is. You get all what dark. What
Weird
was red
feet.
grapes. So yeah, you get all dark and everything, but it was really fun.
that's
It's really
cool.
fun.
That is really cool. Oh, you are an interracial gay couple, right? Or I should ask, do you consider yourselves gay or queer? Or how do you identify?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, old time
Okay.
gay boys.
Hmm.
Yeah, interracial.
So, given that, and we know this,
Not old, but
not
It's
old,
not
right?
all.
the time of olds. Not old, but the times of
That's such an
that
age.
yes, back in the day kind of explanation of gay
Vintage
people.
wine.
Yes,
I love it.
I need to drink of that.
Oh, I need a
So,
pour.
given the state of the world, right, and how it's illegal or it's people like us are frowned upon, right? Sometimes, what do you see, or
Mhm.
what have you seen as you've traveled as a couple? Like, are there any um, times where you were pleasantly surprised at how you were received, or are there times where you'd want to share some advice with people before they travel too? I know that's a loaded question.
Hmm.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Keep an open mind. Be humble. Be humble. Be loving. Be loving.
And that's just a general trip of travel when you're going into someone else's country.
Mhm.
As gay travelers, we have never had any issue. I'm that is the our experience. We've never had any issue, and we've gone to countries that are not that happy about us.
Mm.
So, like for example,
I went to Iran.
when you go, not as a couple though,
No.
when you are getting your hotel room, right,
Mm.
and you're getting a king size bed, and we went to the country of Lebanon,
Mm.
and so Lebanon is not a gay friendly country, right?
No.
Officially.
Officially.
Officially, and that's what it is. So officially, and so at one point when we first started traveling together, that was kind of my thought, like, is it okay for us to get a king size bed?
Mhm.
We just did it, so, but no one ever looked at us weird and said, "Are you sure you don't want a double
Mhm.
or two queens or whatever?" Like, and we don't do a lot of um, public displays of affection at
Mm.
all.
Mhm.
There are times when you're in a park or
Mhm.
something like this, or you're walking on the beach and there's not really a lot of people around. But not here in South Africa. You can PDA all you want here in South Africa.
Right.
It's not against the law.
And Cabo Verde too is
Yeah,
another country off of Senegal. They're gay friendly too.
it's a West African country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there a few times. We went to Carnival there.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
God, that's another story.
yeah, we went to Carnival in Cabo Verde. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese speaking country.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to us being interracial, no, we haven't had any problems. And you just have to walk
Hmm.
big.
I like
Okay.
that. Walk big, right?
Yeah.
Walk big. So there's a lot of reasons why you may want to come this way, but that's on you. If you really need to come this way, come on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reasons why people try to,
Yeah.
mess with you, but
Don't
yeah.
mention your experience in Moscow airport. Oh.
Okay.
Right. So going back to the retreats, and you were explaining before how you have the personal chef that arrives and the experience, but without sharing too much, I would say, what was one of the most memorable or shocking moments that you might have had at one of the retreats?
After being a part of what we've been doing for
Mm-hmm.
over 9 years, we are a no drama zone. So there's nothing has
Mm-hmm.
gone wrong. Nothing. No shocking. We really spend a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
on the itinerary. We spend a lot of time on choosing the people who are assisting us. There has been nothing, none of the times in 9 years we've been
Mm-hmm.
hosting retreats, there has been nothing
So
really
no,
shocking. I mean, there's some behind the scenes things, but nothing with the
got it. So
guests.
no,
But you'll be in 2025,
Yeah.
so we give you free carte blanche to do anything special.
Okay.
Yes, these are things that, what do they say? What happens in South Africa stays in
I
South
love
Africa.
that.
So what is the forecast for the upcoming year? Any big plans or anything different that you're going to do in 2024?
We have our upcoming retreat this
Okay.
year is in April. So it's April 5
Mm-hmm.
to the 15th. It's going to be in Cape Town. What we've done is that we've added, so it's a 10-night a wine vacation where it's almost all inclusive. So for the majority of the time, most of your meals are taken care of, most of your breakfasts are taken care of. We have multiple wine dinners, winemaker dinners during that 10 night that you're there. So you are going to be introduced to at least 3 to 5 winemakers in a more personalized setting where they come to the house. We have opportunities where you go to the winemaker's home themselves. We have another aspect to this April offering, and that is a wine, a township tour. So this is the space where many of the African community lives
Okay.
in township areas, and we have a winemaker who lives in the township. So we'll go to his house, and we'll have taste his wines there, and then we take a township tour
Mm-hmm.
around his neighborhood, and then we dance the night away to Amapiano music at this club, this lounge. We won't tell the lounge. We won't tell you the lounge, but it's a wonderful lounge, and that is where it's interracial. It is what is primarily blacks. There are gay couples there. There are gay singles there. Yes, it's really nice. The vibe is great. There's a lounge across the area from the dance area. It's really a really hot place to be. So that is actually the first weekend of this retreat. So we start the retreat on Friday, and then we go to this wine township tour, dance the night away on Saturday night.
Okay. Good. Now, what would you say the average age of your retreat
Attendees.
accommodations are? How old is the average? What would the average age be?
The average age would probably be, so I'm going to give you an idea. So the average age is 35
Okay.
and up, and yet it's whomever decides to prioritize their funds to go on this type of trip. So really anyone of any age. They've just decided they need Africa in their life. They want to get there. They're gay, but they need a bridge. Obsidian is the bridge to get you here. It is the space of security, the safe space. What we pride ourselves on is introducing our guests from the diaspora, mainly from the US, to meet the local gay population, the local gay community. So you should be going home with gay friends here on the continent. So connecting with them on Facebook, on Instagram, getting to know them. They definitely want to get to know us. And that's been kind of the highlight of our time here, is building the friendships in the gay community and the straight community here.
Okay.
In
So
South
there's a
Africa.
possibility of me coming there and coming home with a partner. Go there single and come home with a partner.
Oh,
we try.
yes. Yes. And maybe an international partner. You might be coming home with a Zulu man.
Yes. Look,
People
we
are
need
not
to work on that. I'm trying to get Dorian a man real quick, y'all.
A man from the
All right.
Congo.
From the motherland.
And we just added another package to our Cape Town trip. So it's an add on, and that is to the Victoria Falls area in the country of Zimbabwe, which the Victoria Falls shares with.
It shares with borders with Zambia too.
Yeah,
It's
so
not far from Mozambique too.
right. So Victoria Falls, Yeah, borders
Zambia.
Zambia, Zimbabwe, and not far from Mozambique. And so we've just added that like a three night
Okay.
add on. The flight from Cape Town and or Johannesburg is only between an hour and 2 hours away. And so we're actually going to go there in March to lay out the land and to look at some places for accommodation. There is a nice houseboat option where we bring the chef
Mhm.
on the houseboat and we go down the Zambezi River. So
See animals.
yeah, it's good. It's a really good.
Animals.
It's a
Mhm.
good add-on. It's a good add-on, but we're also going to make it as a focal point too, because a lot of the sommeliers that we know are from Zimbabwe.
Right.
Well,
Oh.
you said 35 and up. So, Dorian, that does mean I'm old enough to go. Thank you very much. I am there. Okay. I did hear that you're the family genealogist, right, Chris?
Yes,
So,
I am.
what has that
Yes, I am.
experience been like, kind of unlocking? Because a lot of us do feel like, we may never have that opportunity to unlock, our past or our histories. But you've had some experience doing that. Can you share with us?
The connection, the connection, the connection being here in
Mhm.
the south of Africa, and we've traveled other parts of Africa as well, is that knowing how my seven generations of African family, African American family, and knowing that there was a person in the family that was connected closer to Africa than other people in the family, obviously. We didn't start there
Mhm.
in North America. So when I got here, being able to talk to an African mama or an African auntie and sit next to them on a couch or something, and they would just like, come here, baby, let me talk to you, and I could feel the same love that I get from my
Mhm.
African American aunties, and that was the that's the formal bridge. There's one thing to do
Mhm.
ancestry on paper and to do find birth records and death records and find out a name and find out they were in North Carolina or Texas or Virginia, but then to actually be here and have persons of African descent that are on the continent, because a lot of people here in Africa as well, they're dispersed too. So just because you're here in South Africa, everyone's not
Mhm.
South African, and the South Africans are here. They're not all
Mhm.
from South Africa. Like their mother may have been from
Mhm.
Mozambique, which is a neighboring African country, or their father may have been from Namibia, which is another neighbor African country, or anywhere else
Right.
in Africa.
Congolais.
Yeah, so they're also mixed in the
Got
continent
it.
themselves. So it gave me a greater sense of connection. I didn't feel as lost anymore. Thinking I didn't feel
Mhm.
alone as when I was in America, and I thought, well, I'm in America, so I have no roots at all, and I cannot connect. But here, coming here, I was able to connect. When we went to Capo Verde, it's
Mhm.
West African country, and there's Portuguese in my family, on my
Mhm.
paternal side. Capo Verde is an island chain that was first discovered by the
Okay.
Portuguese in the 1400s. It was an abandoned island chain. No one lived there. And so what happened was is that the Portuguese nation, they would take West Africans from Senegal, and that island chain was a depot for the slave ships when they came in. And so there's a big amalgamation of African cultures in Capo Verde. which is, I think there's like 6 inhabited islands there. And at that point, when I was there, though, the skin color of the Cape Verdeans is
Hmm.
similar to mine and yours, Kenan. So, and in my family, we have mixed. There's some real darker people and not. When I went to Cape Verde, they spoke to me in their language,
Creole.
thinking that I
Mm-hmm.
was Cape
Wow.
Verdean.
Mm.
That is
Totally,
awesome
totally
story.
mistook me until I opened my mouth and I started talking in English. But they totally mistook me. But that made I felt the most comfortable in that environment than
If I
any
can get
other
this audio
place at
again,
that time. And now we've been
hopefully
back
it'll bounce back.
2 times. Yeah, 2 times.
You guys are a beautiful couple. I have to say that.
Oh,
I had to
thank
get that
you,
out.
thank you.
Now,
Got it.
what time of the year do the South Africa celebrate their gay pride? Is it in June? As it's June here in the States. Most states celebrate it in June. When do you guys celebrate it?
It
We
was
just
October.
missed it.
October.
Yeah.
October.
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 Yeah. October is the summer months here.
Mm-hmm. We're in summer now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big affair. Like the last one that they had in Cape Town, they hosted it in the major stadium. So they rented out
Okay.
the entire stadium, and that's where the gay pride was in Cape Town this year. It's all day.
Johannesburg has a big one too.
Awesome.
Big
And
drag
Okay.
queens.
there's several around the nation as it is in the US. Just
Mm-hmm.
several around the nation too. Smaller communities have them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's really good. They do
Yeah.
barbecue, music, bring in the stars, celebrities, and it's a big over the top. So we're gonna do plan one of our trips around Gay Pride in October
Mm.
as well, so people can
Mm-hmm.
experience that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to that one too. I
Yeah, that one
want to go.
sounds
I want to go. I
fun.
want to go.
Twice.
So, just in this small conversation that we've had, and hopefully we have more in the future, right? But I will say that you guys, I've learned adaptability is important. I mean, and not only adapting, right, as you travel and as you go through life, but you've also taught me about inclusion, right? And making sure that we push forward and go after those things that we want, and connections can help build bridges and basically expand your opportunities. So for that, I'm thankful. I want to mention that to you. I
Thank
do
you.
appreciate that, and I'm sure our listeners will too.
You're
That's
right.
Well, it
amazing.
sounds like you guys are doing the right thing to break the stigma about Black gay Americans traveling to Africa. But I think what you two are creating is bridging, like you said, bridging it together so people are aware that yes, you can come to South Africa and other parts of Africa and be accepted and enjoy yourselves.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
yes,
yeah.
100%. And there's enough of the African continent that we are accepted to explore, to not have to focus on those other countries where we're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Precisely.
Yeah, there's
I
just
love
too
that.
many of them. There are too many of them that we can get to, and those
Mhm.
are the ones that we need to exhaust.
And embrace.
Yeah.
Let our listeners know, our viewers know where to find you. I know that you're on Instagram at Obsidian Wine Retreats, right?
Hmm.
Yes, and that's the best place to find us. We've decided
Okay.
we can you can find us on you can find our vacation listings, our vacation retreat listings on Facebook. So
Nice.
just put in the search bar Obsidian Wine Retreats, and you'll find our current vacations that are coming up. On
Okay.
Instagram, Obsidian Wine Retreats, you'll find us there. And in the bio, the links will take you to our website as well. And you'll find our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is also on our Instagram, so you can WhatsApp us directly if you have any questions about South Africa or coming to Africa. We've been traveling, Jim, 60 something countries already, me over 40 as well. So we also have tips on how to get the best deals if you want to know how to fly here and
Yeah.
get the best prices for flights and get the best itinerary for flying as well, because we've nailed that down pretty well too. So a lot of people, they don't realize that there's a method to flying and getting layovers that aren't making your trip so long once you get to your destination, where you have to have 2 days to recover, so there's
Mhm.
ways to fly, so it's like drinking lots of vodka in the plane. No, that's
No.
that's not one of them.
I won't drink vodka on the
That's not
plane.
one of them, but there are sleeping tips. You need noise canceling headphones.
And hydrate.
Yeah, you'll
Yes.
sleep a lot better. You'll sleep a lot better if you're not hearing all that noise on the plane.
The longest flight I've had is like 5 hours. So
Woo!
I don't know what a 10-hour flight for me would look like yet. So
Jim and Chris, I thank you both for sharing part of your day with us. I thank you for that lovely story about what you are creating over in South Africa. And I can't wait personally until I can get over there.
So if you've not already, make sure you check out Obsidian Wine Retreats with Chris and Jim, the amazing, amazing couple that we have here. Um, get your wine tasting on. You can visit their site, Obsidian Wine, or you can find them Instagram, Obsidian Wine Retreats, Facebook, Obsidian Wine Retreats, and get ready for an amazing time.
Thank you,
Cheers.
gentlemen.
Sayabonga.
Cheers.
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 Come see us.